So I've had this common discussion with many people and a common observation as well throughout my life that people usually avoid negative thinking and see it as something that's hindering them from actions and it's going to affect them negatively. Well, I disagree. And you'll have all these dialogues going through cultural sayings like shub shub bolo and think positive, everything will work your way. Although negative thinking is actually a very essential trait, the way I see it, you can take an example of driving a car. So let's say you think that, well, I have to travel that long, that far. What's the best way? How can I save time? And you have a car. It's an amazing machine that can take you in less time. So, first of all, you arrived at that conclusion because you saw wasting that much time and effort as a problem. But it doesn't just stop there. When you decide that you're going to take a car, then you think what might happen, what might go wrong, and the obvious conclusion as well, an accident, right? So an accident can have pretty bad consequences. So what do you think to yourself? Well, an accident could happen, but my antidote to that or my solution is to that problem that I'm going to drive according to the rules. I'm going to follow the rules. I'm not going to drive very fast. And the probability of having an accident, which is still there, is going to be much lower. But then you think, what if an accident does happen? How can I reduce the impact of that accident? And then you come to the conclusion that, well, at least I should take precautionary measures in order to reduce the impact of that accident. And what I can do in that case is wear a seatbelt or have airbags in my car. So it's a very commonly looked out for feature when you're buying a car. This is one such example. Students will relate to another example. Well, why do they start studying suddenly at the last day before exams? Well, it's negative thinking because it's simple. If they don't study, they know that they'll fail, and failure has its own consequences later. You'll have a backlog, you'll have problem, you'll have to confront the society, your parents, all sorts of things. So, what drove you there? It's pessimism because you didn't actually have the desire to study, but you had to study. So, you ended up studying when you were needed to, and you avoided that consequence. So, negative thinking is actually an evolutionary trait. It it helps us from getting in danger, and it's a very good survival mechanism. Now, the question is, why do people usually not act? Well, in many cases, it is because they try to avoid this sort of thinking. So they try to go against their natural mechanism. And what they do is they start rationalizing that, well, it's not that big of a deal, or we'll see later. And that's literally the reason why they start procrastinating. Although, of course, it's about expectations as well. You stop because the expectation that you're setting for yourself is too high from your current perspective. But again, it's about desire and fear always. And those are the only two motives why you take action. So, pessimism is actually a very good quality. I wouldn't say that it's only optimism, only pessimism, or in a way you can say only positive thinking or negative thinking. I would say it's objective thinking. Whenever you need whatever you need, whichever sort of thinking you need, you should go with it. You should see the finality of it, and based on the consequence and the impact of that consequence, you're mature enough to realize whether it's essential to take action right now or not, what can be done, or if the outcome has can't be affected now. There's uh, no point of devoting any time to worrying about it because the outcome is not going to change. That is, well, say you have given an exam and you know that you're going to fail, you can't do anything about it. But at the same time, you can also say that, well, again, another negative thinking conclusion, that if I have made this mistake, if I've procrastinated the whole time and I failed this exam, what makes me think that I'm going to clear it the next time? And that is what forces you to bring a change. So, yeah, it's a very good, necessary quality. Don't run away from it, embrace it, see the whole side of it. What is your brain really trying to tell you? And then you'll realize that it's actually good for you. And both these qualities of optimism, which is backed by hope, and pessimism, of course, which leads you towards avoiding negative consequences, you will realize both of them and you will take action accordingly. There.